Hey guys, welcome back. What we're going to be doing in this video is comparing MoYu's GTS2 line, the 3x3, 4x4, 5x5, and 7x7, to YJ's budget magnetic line of 3x3, 4x4, 5x5, and 7x7. My MoYu puzzles have been played with for about a year roughly, whereas these puzzles have been only broken in for maybe 2 weeks. I've bought them for my classroom that I teach at the high school, and all of them have been tensioned somewhat properly and have been lubed with cubicle silk. Not the new one, but the old one. And we're going to do a head-by-head comparison of these budget cubes to these older MoYu cubes. So let's get started. So maybe the most important comparison, the 3x3, the one more people will be interested in. It looks like this one is slightly bigger. This one has more of a weight feel to it, a little heavier here. The magnets on this one, I think everyone agrees, are really the right strength. The tensioning on this one's fine. I tension this one about the same. But as far as like corner cutting goes, what if I put this at a 45 and just rip it? So, I mean, it corner cut it fine. I really do like the tactile feel of this one. If I'm just running like sexy move, you know, there's really no problems. There's a little bit of a lockup issue sometimes. It's clearly not as accurate, but for 10 bucks, I think I got this for 5 because it was on sale compared to this one. I mean, this one's so much better, but for $25 versus 5, if you can get this on sale. But as far as my times go, my times are just as good on this one as they are on this one. This one's more consistent, but this one is still really a good cube. If you take a look at the shades are really visible on it. There's a colorblind issue on my part where I have a hard time seeing orange versus red, and I really don't have an issue with that on this cube at all. I would even go as far to say that this one is really similar to the shades of my GAN cube. So if you're looking for like a backup puzzle for your GAN cube using stickerless, this is a really good one, especially if you're worried about nicking this one up or getting dust in it or something. But this is a really good one, and I had no issues with it out of the box. It was fantastic. This one is the one I started having issues with immediately. If you look at the 4x4, this is, I believe, a 61 millimeter puzzle, which is really not very mainstream at the moment anymore. And this one's even just slightly bigger. I'm going to say it's like a 62. So competitively, you know, this one's a little more clunky, we'll say. And out of the box, it was not tensioned very well. It wasn't lubed very well. It really caught. But after a while of having my kids mess around with it in the classroom and just getting some solves on it, it really did smooth itself out. So for a puzzle that's about $10, magnetic 4x4, this one's really a nice one if you're just getting into cubing. I wouldn't use it competitively. I'm not that good at cubing to begin with, but at the end of the day, the GTS2M from MoYu is a much better cube, and this was really good right out of the box for me. But if you're on a budget, this one's really nice. Don't be too upset about its performance at first. I did have to loosen it up a bit. The loosening up was really easy. Just pull it like this. I hit each side for about a half turn. Lubing it was really easy. Everything was pretty generic. I did notice some of the pieces right there, they're hollow for some reason. I'm not sure why they do that, but as you get to bigger cubes on this, you'll notice the more YJ puzzles do have hollow parts. Where's this MoYu one? I don't even think you can see it. You'll have to take my word for it. It is not hollow, but this 4x4 did perform pretty well after a couple weeks of use, and get about 50 solves on it and drop some lube in it. It's pretty good. The MoYu 5x5 versus the YJ 5x5. I think they're roughly the same size, and I almost feel like this cube right here did have a computer, have a competitor from Qi, and maybe the Valk 5 even overpassed this cube, and I'm expecting this cube to have a WRM come out sometime towards the end of 2019 or early 2020. So if you want to get into 5x5 and get a serious one, I would wait till this one comes out as the WRM. But this one performed really, really good out of the box, and I had a really difficult time taking the centerpiece off to tension it. But after about, I'm going to say 50 or so solves, a couple weeks of having it, putting the lube in it, it really did make the puzzle perform really, really good. But you'll notice on this one, there's really no hollow pieces on the inside as there was on the 4x4, which is probably a reason why they skip 6x6. I think it's easier for them to make odd numbered puzzles, and I would really recommend this to anyone as a travel cube if they go to competitions or they're really interested in timing themselves. So this is a cube you can just kind of beat up. It is a much, how can I say this? It doesn't have a cheap feeling to it. And I like to use this cube to warm up to move on to this one. Because if I get relatively decent times on this one, when I hop over to my better cube right here, I do get much better times. I did have a problem with it locking up where this piece right here got pushed in between these two pieces one time. Once again, don't try to do anything crazy with this one. It is a budget puzzle, and it's pretty durable and came pretty nice out of the box. Now, this was the one I was most skeptical about. I said to myself, do I really want to blow $20 on a 7x7 budget cube? And my kids in the classroom, I did make the 7x7 that they kind of ruined by peeling stickers off of it disappear on them. But the MoYu 7x7 is definitely not critically acclaimed as good as the Spark or the Haze. So maybe it's not a good comparison, but you'll notice the size difference in these is roughly the same. I would say the weight is roughly the same as well. One problem I did have on this cube that this cube doesn't have, when I go to turn this one, it doesn't really matter where I hold it. If I try to turn a specific side on this, it's going to turn the correct amount of layers that I usually want it to turn. But on this one, I think they got the magnets a little too wonky on this one. I think they kind of rushed it, didn't really think it through. This one's really not that smooth. And if you try to go a little too quick with this and you just do a little bit of a mistake, you can already tell it's going to be some bad news. You can see that piece is creeping up. And this is something I found really interesting. If you open this up, some of the pieces on the center right there are hollow. I really don't know why they use this hollow design like this. And I feel like maybe they're trying to save some weight. I'm not really sure why they would do that. But at the end of the day, this was a really good puzzle to just bring around so I can beat up a little bit. I didn't have to really worry about throwing it into a bag or anything. And the center caps come right off like this, and you can just tension it. You don't need to remove that centerpiece. So overall, 20 bucks is a steep amount for a budget cube, but 7x7s are pretty expensive as is. And if your times are really bad, like mine are anyway, I mean, this cube's really not making me world class or anything like that. And I think if I got the Haze or the Spark, I wouldn't be getting much better times anyway. And this cube right here, it's still fun to do 7x7 on. I don't mind doing it at all. You just gotta really slow down with it a bit. So I give all these YJ puzzles, the 7x7, the 5x5, the 4x4, and especially this 3x3, all really big thumbs up. So if you're looking to get into bigger cubes, this one's a really good one to get if you're not too adept to bigger cubes. For example, let's say you've never solved a 7x7 or a 6x6, and your 5x5 time's probably not that great either. This is a great puzzle. It only costs $20. This one was under 15. I think this one was under 10 when I bought it, and this was like 5 when I bought it on sale from the Cubicle. All these are great puzzles. I think these might be the best budget ones out. So if you're looking to get a good budget cube, these guys have put out a fantastic product, and I'd recommend anyone buy them just to travel with. I mean, I really don't like traveling with this cube right here because it's going to get dust in it, and then it's not going to perform as well. Then I got to take it apart, then I got to clean it. So if you do want to bring a cube around with you, do you really want to bring around a $60 cube or a $5 cube? Because if you bring a $60 cube around, it gets dust in it, someone sits on it, it gets messed up. You know, most people don't care about your cubes to begin with, so they're going to go, oh, whatever, I broke a $2 Rubik's Cube. No, it's $60, but if they break this one, who really cares? Guys, have a good night. I hope you do buy all these YJ puzzles from the Cubicle, and, you know, happy cubing.